Suppose you've got a vector v. If you wanted to print out these variables one by one, you could use one of the modern approaches of C++, where you just directly access the value here and you print out x like so. One of the problems with this approach is that you can't easily access the index. Now, in many cases, you don't need this, but suppose you're in an interview setting, then you might need it because you have to do some weird manipulation. Then you might think, why don't I write code like this? This looks good, right? Well, there is something subtly wrong with this, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. v.size does not return an integer. If you hover over v.size, you'll see that it returns a size underscore t. Size underscore t is actually a type that depends on the system that you're on. If you're on an older machine, size underscore t might just be an unsigned integer. On a modern machine, it might be something like an unsigned long. What you're doing here is implicitly casting whatever this value is into an integer. So you might be wondering, how bad can it be? In order to understand how bad it can be, we can print out the values. So I'm on a Mac right now, an Intel Mac. I'm going to print out int min, int max, and size max. Since size is an unsigned, we know that the size min is going to be 0. So let's see what this prints out. Integer goes from negative number to positive number, and because of that, casting whatever v.size is to an integer might actually not iterate through the entire vector itself, because the vector could be longer than the size of this int max. Now you could do unsigned int max, but that will just be double the size of this, which is way smaller than whatever size max is. So size max is a really large number, so if you've got a vector that's really long, then you'd be missing out on printing out a lot of values. And so that finally presents us with the correct way to iterate over this loop, which is to say size t. So here we are setting size t, and again, it's going to, if you hover over it on your computer, it might look different, but on mine, it's an unsigned long, and that's what size t is. So this is essentially the correct way to write a for loop. If you want to use the indices for some odd reason, oftentimes it might be in an interview setting. Technically, there is a modern way to do this. I believe in C++ 2023, they introduced something called enumerate, but let's be honest guys, most of us are not going to be on C++ 2023. You might think, all right, cool, size t, let's do that all the time. That's going to be the silver bullet, right? Well, that's not exactly true. And to understand why that's not true, we're going to want to look at this code right here. What is this code going to do? It's iterating 3, and then it's going to go minus minus, and so on and so forth, and it's going to just print these variables. Where do you think it will stop? Do you think it will stop at I greater than or equal to 0? Let's play this through. I is equal to 3 in the first iteration. It's going to print 3. Then it's going to decrement, it's going to be 2, then it's going to decrement, it's going to be 1, print 1, then it's going to be 0, print 0, and then you're going to decrement I one more time. And now the question is, what happens when you decrement size underscore t one more time? It actually wraps all the way around to whatever max of size t is. So whatever the size max was here that we've printed out, that's what it's going to wrap itself into. So technically, this type of code is not going to float. And so there's actually a different way that you need to write code to account for this. Let's see what that code looks like. You don't do what you simply do in int, right? So for int, you would do something like int I equals 3, I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. That would be the simple integer loop. But in this approach, it's different. You have to do size it equals 3, I minus minus is greater than 0. What is this doing right here? What we're saying is take whatever I is, run that comparison. 3 is greater than 0. Decrement it before you go into it. So you're going to print 2, right? And the next iteration, it's going to be 2. 2 is greater than 0, decrement it, and so this time you're going to print 1. So let's just kind of run it through, right? Let's do a make and see what happens. So you've got 2, 1, 0. So the first time you're not printing 3 because you're doing the check with 3, but you're actually printing 2. Because by the time it gets to this line of code, you have to print 3 minus 1. So how does this look like in practice when you're, let's say, iterating in a vector? Oftentimes, if you use something like an integer, you can do v.size minus 1, I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. To me, this is very straightforward. I've done this multiple times, but again, the problem here is that we're casting whatever the size is to int. Size underscore t can be way larger. If this is a really large number, then this for loop won't work. The way to fix it is to do this approach, and now notice that we're not doing v.size minus 1, right? We're just keeping it at v.size, because inside of the loop, we're going to immediately decrement. This approach is going to decrement after doing the comparison. Right now, it's going to be, let's just say 3. But when you're accessing the index, right, like the third element in the vector, the index of the third element is actually 2, because of course we're 0 indexed, we're not in Lua or anything. So this is the correct way to iterate in reverse order. If you wanted to use the size t approach, this is how you would want to do it. The last thing I want to do is to just run make so that you guys can see that we're printing the values 30, 20, 10 as expected. And there you go, you're printing 30, 20, 10, 30, 20, 10. And yeah, that's all I want to talk about in this video, why it's actually not the correct approach to use int and why you should instead use size t if you're iterating over a vector, and how size t is system dependent. So like on a different machine, it's a different size. So on my Mac, it's an unsigned long, I think, or on another computer, it could be an unsigned int. Depends on the system, and for that reason, you're going to want to use size_t. And of course, there are some pros and cons to this. Using size t is not a silver bullet. So for example, if you're decrementing with size t, there are some concerns that, force you to write your for loop in a different approach. So you're going to need to remember to do it this way. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing for more videos just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.